All right, so let me tell you this experience I had recently, and I know you're the qualitative expert, but you also have been in the research business an awfully long time, so you certainly know more than I do. We had a recent client opportunity where we needed to do some research, some comparative stuff, and we wanted to really pull together a big group, and so we went to some of the panels. And we went out to them, and the bids that came back were remarkably similar. So that helped us know we were asking the right people the right question. But they both said that we couldn't that we couldn't program the survey ourselves. And so I just think that was really interesting, and I started to think about all the different aspects on the quantitative side of research, right, where you start with what you want to find out, obviously, and then you think about a panel, which should be 1,000 or more, right, to really get a good quantitative result, and then you have the software to ask the questions and capture the answers, and then there's the sort of numeric analysis to figure out what the trends are and what the results might be, and then there's the conceptual sort of what does it mean aspect at the end. Along that process, it was really interesting to me that there was this other step of programming that I might need to pay for that didn't seem to make any sense to me, because we really were going to be asking the most benign 10 benign questions, and we just didn't understand it. What's up with that?
Well, there's a couple of things that strikes me when you say that. Number one is that just might be how they make their money, by charging you to do that part. So they may or may not think you're qualified, but they may just want it to do that part. Number two is they're very protective of their panel. So just letting anybody play in that sandbox could, they don't want you to cross any lines and mess up that resource that they have. So maybe they're just like, look, I'll talk to them for you,
right,
and be that kind of gatekeeper. The other thing is, though, you may not be as good at programming that as you think you are.
Probably not.
I know with us, we've got this online methodology it's pre-recorded, it's not live, so we know how to ask questions in a way that when somebody listens to a record, we know how many questions can we fit into one recorded assignment,
right,
to make sure we don't burn people out and they bail on us. We know if we're doing a project over the course of 2 months, we have to incent them higher to make sure that they don't bail out on us because they get tired of it. We know how to ask the right questions, and we can recommend things. We were doing a project, and with our methodology, obviously it's not quant, so you can get a lot of bang for your buck out of 10, 20 people with this, because you get very in-depth info. I was talking to one client, and she wanted to do like 30 or 40 completes. And we were like, I don't think you need that many. And then she brought up, well, I'm doing some work in L.A., and if I don't have good Hispanic representation, it's a waste of time. So I was like, oh,
right,
you're right. So we hadn't thought about how many segments, but there's that line between we're getting people are hearing the same thing over and over again versus. But in your case, it's maybe they just feel like, we've been doing this for 10 years.
right.
Here's the thing: is if you do it, you have a bad experience.
Right.
You're never going to use them again, even if you're the one who screwed up. So
and they weren't charging a lot of money. It was just like I felt like it was something that I could bang out, and I was thinking more of the lag time. Like if we wanted to really do it, I wanted to just slam it out and make it happen. But you're probably right. So
what happens though if you use something like a Survey Monkey?
Yeah.
Does Survey Monkey even have like a panel?
No, they don't. You have to email it to people which is, I think, a problem. Oh, that was the last time I checked it. Maybe they've developed a panel by now.
There's got to be somebody out there with a panel that'll let you program your own.
Yeah, probably. Hey, tell me about the sort of analysts that you have at the end. You talked with the people that find the best video part. Do you have people that also give recommendations or sort of try to tell people what the research means?
Absolutely. So we have full-time moderators, and we have this sort of army of of sort of on-call partner moderators who are savvy to our methodology, but also we don't need all these full-time people. So if we get a medical or a financial project, we'll pull in a specialist. But we've got a number of full-time researchers. And I was just at a major corporation doing a project with us, and they were very set on doing things a certain way. And there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen,
Yeah.
as far at the table. And our head researcher came in, and as the sales guy, I lead them to the water. I give them the general concept, and then when they start to drill down, well, how many questions should it have, or what,
Right.
it starts to get well. You bring her in. She convinced them of a two-phased methodology. We narrowed the completes from 60 down to 30, but we're going to do more with these people. And then the deliverable is a video report that, rather than a giant PowerPoint deck that crashes your email,
Yep.
and frustrates people. I don't know if you ever tried to send a PowerPoint deck with video clips in it,
No.
but they're too big and it's a pain. I've had people call me in tears because trying to do it. This video report, you just send somebody a link. They get this nice online produced
Right.
YouTube element report where it's slide after slide of the data presented as it would be in a written report, but then a media window with 3 or 4 clips of people sitting in their kitchen, talking to you about their diabetes shots or their kid's game closet or whatever. And it just, nothing stops people in their tracks like the customer talking.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like you guys really provide a needed service, and sounds like you're having some good success with QlikView. That's great, and I really appreciate you taking the time today to take us through what you got, and appreciate the education on the research business.
Thank you.
And if anyone needs to reach you, Jack, what email should they send to you?
jcampisi at qualview.com, which is JCAMPISI at qualview.com, and that's a VU. Qualview.com is the website.
And I'll post that to my blog as well. Jack, thanks a lot for your time, and I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck.
Thanks, Pete.
Take care.